Welcome.
Doing good.
Welcome. Team Purple Rain and Team Orange Glad to your third immunity challenge. Before we get started, we've just got a little housekeeping to handle. So I'm going to ask if I could get the youngest player from each team to leave your camera on, and I would like everyone else on your teams to turn your cameras off. So if you have to discuss amongst yourselves, that's fine, but whoever is the youngest on each team, I'm gonna need those two folks to stay on screen here. Okay, so do we have our two youngest contestants here? It looks like Gina from Team Orange Glad and Emily from Team Purple Rain, representing our two youngest contestants in the game. Welcome. So I'm going to toss a coin, and Emily, since you are on Team Purple Rain and your team won last week, the immunity challenge, I'm going to let you call the toss, okay?
Tails.
It is heads. That means that, Gina, you're gonna be going first. I bet you're both wondering what you're going first in. I would like to let everyone know at this time that we're going to be engaging in a team swap. The way this is going to work.
What?
You both will alternate choosing two team members. However, who you pick must be from the original opposing team. So, Gina, you will be going first, and since you were on Team Orange Glad, your first choice must be from Team Purple Rain. Emily, vice versa. Since you are on Team Purple Rain, you must choose a new teammate from Team Orange Glad. Then, in the second round, the contestants that you both chose, it will be their turn to choose their next teammate. And again, that teammate must come from the opposing team of that contestant. These teams that form tonight will be the teams in the game moving forward. Gina, I'm going to ask for all of Team Purple Rain, if you can come on screen so that Gina can see who she has to choose from. Gina, you can choose from Georgia, Colin, Chava, Meg, Trey, or Jordan. Who are you going to choose to be on your team?
All right. This is really hard. All of you are lovely. I think my pick has to be Chava.
Now, Chava, you will be on Team Orange Glad. All right,
So,
Emily. These are your choices. You have Brian, Carlie, Alex, Sam, Nora, and Fiona.
I think I will have to go with, I will go with Brian.
Brian. All right. Emily has chosen Brian.
No!
Team Orange Glad. Brian, you are now on Team Purple Rain. All right. Chava, your choices are from Team Orange Glad. You have Carlie, Alex, Sam, Nora, and Fiona as your choices.
I will choose Fiona.
Fiona. All right, Fiona. You are on Team Orange Glad. So, Brian, if you can bring yourself on screen, you will be choosing from Team Purple Rain, the remaining contestants, which are Georgia, Colin, Meg, Trey, and Jordan.
Georgia.
Georgia on Team Purple Rain. Fiona, these are your remaining choices to be added to your Team Orange Glad.
I think I'm gonna go with Colin.
All right.
Yeah.
Colin on Team Orange Glad. Georgia, you are going to be choosing next for Team Purple Rain, and your choices are Carlie, Alex, Sam, or Nora.
I am going to go with Carlie.
All right, Carlie is
Hi,
now
Carlie.
on Team Purple Rain. Give me Colin. Your choices come from Team Orange Glad, and they are Alex, Sam, and Nora.
Oh, wow. Well, I think I know who I can rule out already because I'm trying to win. So definitely not Alex. So I think I'll go with Sam. Silly Sam, as they call him around the streets.
Colin.
All right, Silly Sam, you are now on Team Orange Glad. Well, you were before, and you are still on it now. Thank you, Colin. Carlie, now you will be choosing between Meg, Trey, and Jordan to join you on Team Purple Rain.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go with Jordan.
All right, Jordan. You are remaining on Purple Rain. All right, Sam. Your choices are Meg and Trey.
Okay. Gonna have to go with Trey here.
All right. Sam has chosen Trey for Team Orange Glad. Jordan, your choices to join you on Team Purple Rain are Nora and Alex.
Ooh. Let's go with Nora.
Nora, you are now on Team Purple Rain. All right, for the last two contestants on screen, we know where they're going to go. This means that Alex, you are Team Orange Glad, and Meg, you are Team Purple Rain. So I'm going to read the teams out now. Could I get all Team Orange Glad on screen, please? All right, folks at home, the new Orange Glad is Gina, Chava, Fiona, Colin, Sam, Trey, and Alex. I will draw attention to the obvious, which is that Fiona and Trey are now on the same team. Cannot wait for that. Team Purple Rain, please bring yourselves on screen. Folks at home, the new Team Purple Rain is Emily, Brian, Georgia, Carlie, Jordan, Nora, and Meg.
This is so crazy, Antonio. This is insane.
That orange.
But I will say purple was always a good color on me.
I'm living for this. This is
so
great.
evil. This is so like effing evil.
Gotta say, there's some conflict here for me and Colin, not only because we just this week penned a genre-defying, era-defining pro-purple anthem, but we're gonna bounce back from this.
It's a lot, y'all. I know, and I'm very excited about it. Okay, so before we get started into our challenge, though, because we do still have a challenge tonight, I would like to ask a couple questions. So, how is this team swap gonna change things up? Brian, I'm gonna bring that question over to you. What do you think is gonna be the new dynamic? Do you think old alliances are gonna be playing a factor in this game moving forward, or give me your thoughts on that?
Well, I've watched a bunch of Survivor in my day. I will be honest, for the past month before this, I was binging Survivor. And what I've learned is, the comfortable decision is usually not always the one that's going to get you to the end. So, I think there's going to be a lot of swapping like we just did. But, you never know. You think you're comfortable and then stuff like this happens. So we'll see what happens in the next couple weeks.
We will absolutely see what happens. Sam, I'd like to bring you in.
Yeah.
There was a lot of team spirit, a lot of excitement from some contestants, but now those people might be on a different team. How do you think that this is going to affect that kind of vibe, the team spirit moving forward?
Well, how do I think it's realistically going to affect it, or how do I think it should? How do I, like in an ideal world?
You can interpret that question however you would
like. In an ideal world, people would root for their teams. Definitely. They would love the team they're on with their whole heart. I know that's what I would do. Realistically, no. I don't. There's some people who have, in these past weeks, I don't know, like, if I can trust them anymore, because I know how they stand. I know how they stand. And I don't think it's very good for everybody. I think some of them will do whatever it takes to get to the end. And if that means hurt their own teammates, it means hurt their own teammates.
Okay, all right, you heard it. You heard it. Sam thinks that these relationships that have already been established may actually cause some folks to not fight for their new team. Let's dive into tonight's challenge. For those of you who watched season 1, you might remember tonight's challenge, which is a game of password. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with how the game password works, there will be 2 pairs, one from each team, that will be going off in opposition to each other. One person on each pair will be the clue giver, and one person on each pair will be the guesser. Each clue giver will get a word. That word will be sent to them, and then whoever goes first, which I will explain how that's going to work, that clue giver can say one word to their guesser. That is not the word that they're trying to guess. Then, after saying one clue, one word, their guesser has an opportunity to guess what that word might be. If they get that word right and they guess it correctly, then their team will score 10 points. If you get it right on the first guess, it's 10 points. If you do not get it right, it will then go over to the next team, to the opposing team, and they get to give one word from their clue giver, and their guesser gets to guess one word. If they get it right, then that team gets 9 points. You see how this is going to work. So it bounces back and forth from team to team, giving one clue at a time and one guess at a time, until either someone gets it or we reach 0 points and no one has adequately guessed the word. All right, so I'm going to ask everyone to turn your videos off, and then I will call our first 2 pairs to the screen. So representing Team Orangey Glad, we have Gina and Chava. And representing Team Purple Rain, we have Emily and Brian. All right, you all. Remember that the points go down after each guess, so it benefits you to try and guess it as soon as you possibly can. So we have Brian and Gina are going to be giving the clues for round 1. And Purple Rain, since you won last week, you will be going first, which means, Brian, you will be giving our first clue out. For 10 points, Brian.
Phone.
App.
That is not the password, Emily, unfortunately, so that's going to move over to Gina for 9 points.
Beep.
Text.
That is not the password. So unfortunately, that moves it back over to Brian and Purple Rain for 8 points.
Unanswered.
Notification.
Unfortunately, that is not the password. So we are moving back over to Team Orangey Glad. Gina, it's your clue.
Tone.
Voicemail.
Voicemail! That is...
That's right, orange!
Yeah, orange team.
Right. So that brings us to our second round. Can I get, representing Team Orangey Glad, Fiona and Colin, and representing Team Purple Rain, Georgia and Carlie? Since Team Purple Rain went first last time, Team Orange Glad, Colin, you are first this time. For 10 points, Colin, the first clue.
Bakery.
I'm gonna guess bread.
Unfortunately, Fiona, that is not the password, so we're going to hop over to Carlie and Georgia. Carlie, for 9 points.
Sweets.
Cookie.
Unfortunately, Georgia, that is not the password. We are coming back over to Colin for 8 points.
Cake.
Frosting.
Unfortunately, Fiona, that is not the password. We're going back over to Carlie and Georgia for 7 points.
Croissant.
Patisserie.
I am sorry, Georgia, that is not the password.
Okay.
We're going back over to Colin and Fiona for 6 points.
Donut.
Pastry.
Yes!
Oh, yes!
Go team!
Hell yes!
Representing Team Orange Glad, we have Sam and Fiona, and representing Team Purple Rain, we have Jordan and Nora. And then Nora, for 10 points, the first clue.
Charge.
Battery.
Oh! Oh! And Jordan with a 10-point guess on the first guess.
That's how you know she was on Orange Glad in the first place.
Exactly. That excellence, that orange excellence.
Our next pairings for round 4, representing Team Orange Glad, we have Alex and Gina. And representing Team Purple Rain, we have Meg and Emily. And it is Team Orange Glad's turn to go first, which means, Gina, it is on you for 10 points.
Blonde.
Die.
That is not correct. So we're going to hop over to Meg and Emily for 9 points.
All right, Emily. Brown.
Barbie?
Unfortunately, Emily, that is not the password. We are going to hop back over to Gina and Alex for 8 points.
Me.
Brunette.
Oh! And Alex has correctly guessed round 4's word, which was brunette,
Let's
for
go,
8
Orange.
points.
Nice Let's go.
So that means for Team Orange Glad, next up, we have Chava and Fiona. And representing Team Purple Rain, we have Brian and Georgia. And round 5, Purple Rain, it is your turn to go first.
Don't make
So,
that face.
Georgia, for 10 points, it is your clue.
Professor.
Academic.
No, unfortunately, Brian, that is not the password. We are going to go over to Chava and Fiona for 9 points.
Contemplate.
Learning?
Unfortunately, that is not the password, Fiona. We are going to hop back over to Georgia and Brian for 8 points.
Sorcerer.
Philosopher. Oh, wait, really? Oh my god!
Oh!
That was great, Georgia. That was
And
perfect.
Georgia and Brian,
I had it right
for
there.
8 points. 8 points for Team Purple Rain.
Orange no mo.
That brings us to round 6. Representing Team Orange Glad, can I get Colin and Sam on screen, please? And representing Team Purple Rain, we have Carlie and Jordan. Yeah, take it away, Sam.
Aluminum.
Foil.
Okay. Oh!
Oh!
And
Fucking orange, dude.
Nice, man! I'm out of here!
for 10 points, we have Orange Glad. All right, gang, I know I said it was 7 rounds in this game. However, heading into the final round, the scores were at such a point that it would have been impossible for the team that had a lower score to overtake the other. Which means, with a score of 31 points, Team Orange Glad is our winner tonight and has gained immunity this week. Congratulations, Team Orange Glad.
Woo!
Unfortunately, Team Purple Rain, what this means for you is that you will be heading to elimination this week. Thank you for dealing with our curveball tonight. But now these are our teams moving forward in the competition. All right, y'all. Well, that brings us to the end of the third immunity challenge in season 2 of Survivor TTS. We have our new teams of Orangey Glad and Purple Rain heading into week 4. Congratulations, Orangey Glad and Purple Rain. We will see you at elimination. Until next time. That was the most nail-biting elimination that I have experienced.
Are you kidding? I'm not an idiot, you guys. God, what have I gotten myself into? I really told you the truth.
Season 1 is not season 2.
You think that you're comfortable and you think that everything's going to stay the same, and it never does.